The majestic trident of Modena has made its triumphant return to the lot. A symbol of what it means to rise above the mundane. Only this time, it comes in the form of a younger, lighter, sexier compact sport sedan. The sultry and sensational kid sister to the Quattroporte is here. This is the Ghibli.
Oh, it sounds so good. Hi, it's Ariel with Auto City in El Cajon, San Diego's award-winning used car dealership. And this 2015 Maserati Ghibli in Nero with a Koyo interior has just 38,000 miles on the clock. It sports a dual overhead cam, 3-liter twin-turbo V6 engine that, when mated to an 8-speed shiftable automatic transmission, delivers 369 horsepower and 345 foot-pounds of torque, aka more than enough. And it gets 25 miles to the gallon on the highway. It's quite the charming character. This car drives like no other. It has its own unique way of dominating the road, the likes of which I'm yet to see at Auto City.
Named for a North African wind, which is kind of like naming your car the Daewoo Santa Ana. This aptly titled work of art looks wind-swept standing still. Ghibli, a badge that dates back to 1967, started life as a 2x2 Grand Touring Coupe. And though beautiful, it was short-lived, fizzling out after only 5 years. Resurrected in 1992, the Ghibli badge was then worn by this, which was nothing more than a bi-turbo whose 1980s hard-edged corners were routed out to match the 90s aesthetic. After the Italian carmaker went through a number of troubling years, they finally landed on solid ground with Fiat Chrysler. And the Ghibli was once again reborn in 2013 as this. It's a study in balance, beauty, art, and engineering. Maybe it's the staggered 19-inch wheels, maybe it's the sport-tuned suspension, maybe it's the Italian-tuned twin-turbo V6. Or perhaps it's just a harmonic balance of all these things that make this not only a work of art, but a near-perfect driver.
I gotta be honest, I didn't expect much out of this car. I thought it to be all style and no substance. I didn't think its twin-turbo V6 would wow me the same way the Quattroporte's V8 did. On the other hand, the car was really heavy, but like some other V6s of recent past that had taken me for a fool, I am more than pleasantly surprised. It's not the fastest car I've driven, it's not the best handling, but it has a driving character and style all its own. The balance between power and control, between ferocity and restraint, make this a truly unique driver. More so than the Quattroporte, more so than the BMW 335i, more so than the Panamera. It's monstrous and smooth all at once. It requires some muscle to operate, but it's feather light. I don't get it. You know what this car is? It's a driver's car in which you can forget you're a driving enthusiast should you occasionally choose to do so. Driving this car on the surface roads and highways of Southern California have proven to me that it's more than just a pretty face.
Speaking of pretty face, it's really pretty. It's also really mean looking. I don't know if you can call something this mean pretty. Wait, then again, we humans are often inexplicably attracted to people who are mean to us. We take pleasure in abuse, and if you're not careful, this pretty thing might just lose its temper on you. But I digress.
Though I may have hotwired Auto City's YouTube channel into being my own personal platform for reviewing the cars of my choosing, at the end of the day, it's still my job to entice you to come to the lot and buy these cars. So my reviews often err on the side of favor for whichever car I'm reviewing. However, all is fair in love and journalism, and if I must find some objectivity in this car, well, I can say that there are parts in this cabin, Maserati, where your Chrysler is showing. Some of the trim pieces employ a cheaper plastic. The door panels rattle around. They don't have that solid thud that you expect from, say, a German car of this class. And here's something that really bugs me. This center console, which has two flaps here. There's a button which releases the flaps. You would expect the doors to pop open automatically for a car this expensive. They don't. You have to hold down the button with one hand and open the flaps with another. You want the second flap open, you have to repeat the process. There's no easy and graceful way to do this with one hand while you're driving.
That's what she said.
But all this, these minor details, it's Italian. There's a so what element to all these minor discrepancies. And it's reminiscent of pretty much every Italian car I've ever driven, be this the doing of Maserati, Fiat's influence, or Chrysler's influence. You get over it pretty quick. And besides, all is forgiven with the faults of the center console, because when you do open it, you will discover that there is an air conditioning vent down in here with two cup holders and room for sandwiches, which you will inevitably be packing for your long weekend drives into the country. Oh. You know what this is? This is a car for somebody who's got nothing to prove. Somebody who doesn't owe anybody anything.
A car for someone who's not compensating for lack of something else. It's a car for those who enjoy the activity of driving and the pride of ownership of an object that has turned the necessity of personal transport into an art form.
I mean, sure, you can drive like an aggressive a-hole should you choose to do so, but you don't really need to in this car. You could put it into this efficient control mode and enjoy it just as much. it just is, it's just good. It's just good at what it does. And I don't feel the need to outspeed anybody or win any races. I just like it. I just like being in it.
In the years since we've had the Quattroporte, many cars have come and gone, but I haven't forgotten its coach-built cabin and mighty V8. However, I'm leaning towards a conclusion that this little compact sedan with its V6 is better than its bigger brother. Despite the assembly line feel of the cabin, the car still feels newer and more modern. The driving dynamics are more memorable. And like the Panamera, this car proves that you can do a lot with a V6. They're more controllable, and they're better on gas. Plus, with its set of twin turbos, you're really not missing those extra 2 cylinders. Also, the trunk is bigger than the Quattroporte's, all 18 cubic feet of it. The Ghibli is better.
Or any other cars we have in our award-winning lot. Come see us in El Cajon or visit us online at GoAutoCity.com. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Take it easy.
Auto City.